You ever wake up to the sound of someone jamming a key into your front door at 6 in the morning only to find your HOA president face bright red standing there with the key still stuck in the lock? Yeah, that's how my day started. Karen Thompson, clipboard clutched to her chest like she was about to storm the beaches of Normandy, had just broken into my house, called it a safety inspection, and then for good measure accused me of being a thief. She was dead serious. My blood was boiling. 6 months of petty fines, veiled threats, and now breaking and entering. And she had no idea who she was actually messing with. The moving truck had barely left before she materialized like she was waiting around the corner for the signal to pounce. She marched right up, never introduced herself like a normal person. Just announced, "I'm Karen Thompson, president of the Meadowbrook Heights Homeowner Association. We need to discuss your compliance with community standards." I was still holding a box labeled tax files. I'm a freelance accountant, just moved in, didn't even have coffee in my system yet. But apparently that's when the rules must be established. She had the vibe of a general reviewing battle plans, hair pulled tight, blazer ironed to a crisp. Everything about her screamed, "I run this place." She hit me with a rapid-fire list of infractions: the moving truck blocking community sightlines, the grass showing signs of stress, my garbage bins out of position. I was waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. She was deadly serious. I tried to apologize, but she cut me off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Successful communities require structure. Property values depend on everyone following established protocols. Surely, as a financial professional, you understand the importance of maintaining asset values. How did she know I was in finance? I'd barely unpacked my business cards. I tried to keep things calm, said I'd just need to learn the rules. "Excellent attitude," she chirped, making notes on her clipboard like she was plotting troop movements. "Your orientation packet will arrive within 24 hours. And then, as if I wasn't already on edge, she started grilling me about my business. Home-based businesses require special permits and quarterly compliance reviews to ensure neighborhood disruption remains minimal. I got chills. I'd read the HOA rules before buying, but nothing about this level of micromanagement. She rattled off fees, called them reasonable. Translation, pay up or else. 3 hours later, a certified packet landed on my doorstep. 47 pages, single-spaced, regulations for everything. How to mow your lawn, what color you could paint your door, noise bin placement, even a neighborhood harmony charge they could impose whenever they felt like it. It read like a ransom note dressed up as bureaucracy. The doorbell rang again, and this time it was a woman in her 70s, kind eyes, nervous hands. "I'm Sarah Mitchell, 3 houses down. Wanted to welcome you." I thanked her. She dropped her voice. I hope Karen wasn't too overwhelming. She means well, but she's intense. The word hung in the air like the smell of burnt coffee. Advice: pay the fees. Never challenge her in public. Don't try to rally anyone against her. Just trust me. I asked what happens if someone does. Her face paled. The Hendersons questioned a fine once. She made their lives miserable: inspections, fines, harassment. They moved. I spent that night combing the HOA docs again. Legal jargon, endless clauses, sweeping authority for the board. It all felt wrong, excessive, disproportionate. The next visitor was Tom Bradley. Mid-50s, had that military calm. "Welcome to the neighborhood," he said, shook my hand like he meant it. "Mind if I ask what you think of our HOA president?" I hedged, remembered Sarah's warning. She seems dedicated. Tom laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Karen's turned this place into her personal kingdom. People are afraid. She knows how to make life hell if you cross her. Don't fight her alone, Ben. She's too good at using the system. Keep your head down." He left, and I sat at my kitchen table feeling the weight of every warning. Among the docs, I found a disclosure form asking for everything: vehicles, family business, anything relevant to community safety. In tiny print, it said the board could enter any property for emergency safety inspections. Who defines an emergency? Who decides when to come in? My phone buzzed. Mom checking in. I tried to sound upbeat. "Neighborhood's got an active HOA. She was happy, said that would protect property values." But I couldn't shake the feeling I'd stumbled into a suburban dictatorship. Then came the emergency meeting. Karen at the head of the room, flanked by her board, the whole scene like a courtroom. 40-something residents packed in, curious, nervous, waiting for drama. Karen announced a new master key security protocol. Every resident would give a spare house key to the HOA for emergency safety inspections. The room erupted. Tom Bradley challenged her, asked for legal grounds. She rattled off a county statute number that sounded made up. I asked to see the text. The room froze. Karen locked eyes on me, voice dripping with condescension. Perhaps you're not familiar with how responsible neighborhoods protect property values. She made resistance sound like selfishness, compliance, like community virtue. Then she fined me $200 on the spot for disrupting community harmony by questioning protocol. Gasps all around. That night, Tom found me in the parking lot. You realize she's going to make your life hell now, right? Oh, I realized. I'd seen bullies before, but never with this much power. The next day, the fine arrived. $200, 10 days to pay or face a lien. I paid. Not because I owed it, but because I was starting to understand Karen's need to win. Over the next 2 weeks, I handed over my house key, paid a $50 key processing fee, and a $75 monitoring setup cost. I played the part of the broken resident. And something strange started to happen. Neighbors began reaching out, quietly in whispers at mailboxes. People were watching. People were taking notes. Then came the 6 a.m. wellness check. Karen and 2 board members, grim as undertakers, stormed my house. Split up, she barked. They ransacked my place, photographed drawers, closets, deliberate, invasive. I trailed behind, filming everything. When Karen found my locked filing cabinet, my confidential tax records, she demanded I open it. Community safety requires transparency. I refused. I can't, legally. Client privacy. She called 911. 20 minutes later, 2 officers arrived. Karen tried to play it big, rattled off suspicious behavior and community safety. Officer Harris, the older one, wasn't buying it. Ma'am, HOA authority doesn't extend to searching business documents. Can you show legal grounds? Karen produced her paperwork. The officer read it, then told her flat, "This is HOA policy, not law. You can't override constitutional protections." Karen's mask slipped. She blustered, but the officers held firm. "Mr. Walker, document any future incidents." They left Karen standing there fuming. 48 hours later, a certified letter arrived from HOA Legal Services, a barrage of accusations, $700 in fines, threats of liens, legalese designed to intimidate. I called a lawyer, Mark Peterson. He'd had 3 calls that month about Karen. "She pushes people until they move," he said. "Fighting her is expensive." I paid the fine. Not because I accepted it, but to let her think she'd broken me. She staged a little parade, rallied neighbors, bragged about restoring order. Meanwhile, she hired a private investigator to dig through my life. He found nothing. I'm boring, clean finances, real business, no drama. But in Karen's mind, being too clean was suspicious, must mean I'm a sophisticated criminal. By Sunday, I was prepping to leave, left real estate listings on my counter, packed a suitcase, staged phone calls. Karen's car drove by 6 times that weekend. She wasn't satisfied with winning, she wanted destruction. Tom called, said Janet Pierce was scared. Karen was planning a comprehensive property investigation. Full search, evidence bags ready. She'd find something even if she had to invent it. I decided enough. I moved my files to a safety deposit box, backed up my computer, sent notes to clients about possible harassment. I booby-trapped my front lock so her precious master key would jam. Then on Friday, I left for a fake house hunting trip, circled back and hid in the basement with cameras rolling. That night, Karen, Robert, and Janet showed up. The key jammed. She tried the back door, crowbar in hand, broke in. They tore through my house. In the bedroom closet, they found exactly what I wanted them to, a box labeled FBI evidence. Inside, prop packages, fake narcotics official-looking tags. Karen's eyes lit up. I found it. She photographed everything. Then she called 911, demanded a federal response. The dispatcher in on my plan routed it to the county sheriff. When the patrol car pulled up, Karen stood by the door, ready for her big moment. I stepped out, full county sheriff's uniform, badge shining. Karen's face turned to stone. She stammered, You're a cop." Detective Ben Walker, County Sheriff's Department. Operation Silent Guard. Investigating civil rights violations by HOA officials. She sat down hard, defeated. I read her rights, arrested her for breaking and entering evidence, tampering, conspiracy, civil rights violations. Robert tried to run Agent Miller, cuffed him. Janet started crying. The master key jammed in my door bore her fingerprints. Every step was on camera, every word on tape. 6 months of evidence, illegal fines, searches, harassment, all delivered to federal prosecutors. The neighborhood meeting afterward was surreal. Federal agents, media outside, 72 residents inside, stunned. I stood at the podium, sheriff's badge gleaming. I'm Detective Ben Walker. I've lived among you for 6 months investigating civil rights violations by HOA officials. I explained everything, Karen's consulting her playbook of intimidation, the network she'd built. I announced a victim compensation fund, restitution, new bylaws, court-appointed management. The room erupted, first in shock, then in real applause. Someone asked, "How do we know this won't happen again?" I answered, "New rules, oversight, transparency." Tom Bradley asked if I was staying. I said yes, promoted to community relations here to help prevent this kind of abuse from ever happening again. As the crowd left, Tom came up to me. "When did you know she'd destroy herself?" I thought back. The moment she decided I was a threat, not a victim. People like Karen, you just give them enough rope. That master key, once the symbol of her power, now sat in an FBI evidence locker. Karen pled guilty, cooperated, faced 20 years. The network collapsed. The media went wild, undercover cop, power-hungry HOA, suburban justice. But here's the real lesson. People only suffer tyranny when they're convinced it's safer to stay silent. It's the ones who keep asking questions, who refuse to surrender their dignity, who save their communities, even when the price seems too high. Sometimes justice isn't about handcuffs or headlines. Sometimes it's about helping good people remember they deserve better. So let me ask you, if you saw this in your neighborhood, would you fight or would you stay silent? Where's the line between protecting a community and abusing power? Drop your thoughts below or share your own HOA nightmare. I promise you, I read them all.